It's not every day you meet a woman leading one of the country's top contract glazing firms. But as Letitia Haley Barker, president of Haley-Greer, told us, your life finds you. I'm Daniel Snow, and I had the chance to meet with Tish and talk about her career in the glass industry, as well as what she thought she'd be doing one day. But first, a little background. The Dallas-based contract glazing firm Haley-Greer was co-founded in 1979 by Tish's father, Don Haley, and Jim Greer. Tish was actually the company's first employee. After working there a number of years, she moved on to a career in human resources. She eventually returned as Vice President of Business Administration and became President in 2003. As she told me, sometimes it's just time to come home. Take a look.
I really enjoyed my career in Florida in human resources, and I was there for 15 years. But it just felt like it was time to come home. You know, my family was here, I'd been away from them. I had a fairly young child, about 8 years old, and I just decided that it was time to come home. I wasn't gonna come to the family business, and then the more I stayed, my dad and I, started talking about it and really decided that he didn't have a succession plan and, that maybe it was a good avenue. I felt like the time I spent away was time really well used because I just wasn't doing kind of his admin work here, and I did payroll and did billings and all those things. But then it took me to the human resources arena, and I was able to gain that work. I did budgets, and so I think that the combination really made me a much better fit for him 15 years later than it did when I first got there.
But Tish didn't always see herself leading a contract glazing company. She actually has a degree in criminal justice and was headed in that direction before seeing a change in her career path.
Believe it or not, and it was way before it was time, but I wanted to be in crime scene investigation. So I wanted the original CSI before CSI ever came on. Kind of started out in chemistry and then moved over to the forensics in that area and really wanted to do that. But things were not that easy in that era. I mean, that was 1977 when I got out of college. You go get a degree and, very seldom, unless it's very specific, does it get to be exactly what you planned it to be, but your life finds you and what you're great at.
Haley-Greer has been involved in many interesting projects throughout its 40-year history. In addition to its work in Dallas, the company currently has jobs in cities throughout Texas, including San Antonio, Austin, and Houston, among others. We met up with Johnny Mendoza, Vice President of Field Operations, to talk about some of the changes and challenges the company has seen, including the construction industry's labor shortage.
In labor, there's been a shortage in Dallas, Texas overall, but we've been able to maintain with guys that we've had with over 20 years experience, kind of grooming the newer ones that come in. So we've been able to balance that pretty well.
For some contract glaziers, shifting from stick-built to unitized curtain wall is one way to alleviate challenges with the labor shortage. While Haley-Greer has historically been a stick-built company, they're starting to do more work with unitized.
Haley-Greer is famous for the stick-built. As the years have progressed, we've found that unitizing the system is for a smoother, quicker install. It's not just a rectangular or square building, but you have the capability of installing radiuses or segmented buildings with the unitized curtain wall. Curtain walls that have the shingled effect as well. It has evolved over the years.
Haley-Greer has come a long way in its 40-year history, and it's left its mark with many impressive projects. For USGNN, I'm Daniel Snow. Thanks for joining us for our April newscast.